to call to order the work session. And can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Yes, will you lead it?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Alex, roll call, please.
Ms. Min.
Present.
Ms. Garcia.
Present.
Ms. Chung.
Yes.
Ms. John. Mr. Lim.
Here.
Ms. Lee.
Present.
Mr. Anthony Kim. Here. Mr. William Kim. Mr. Charlie Shin.
Yes.
Dr. Cirillo.
Present.
Pretty sure he's here. Mr. McCann.
Present.
Jocelyn Hernandez. Thank you.
Okay. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PR 1975, I hereby state that adequate notice of this regular meeting has been provided to the public by a written notice dated January 15, 2023, date of published notice. The meeting notice has been emailed to all staff members at the District 3 school locations, communicated to at least one of the board designated newspapers, filed with the Borough Clerk of Palisades. Now, we are going to review resolutions to be voted on at the regular meeting. Let's just start with finance. William Kim is here, right? So Kevin Lim, can you do that, please?
Yeah, on the agenda of finance, we have a total of 16 agendas, and on Monday we had a meeting and review each of the agenda. And yeah, I think all is okay, but two of the items of 16, number, I think the document. Yeah, number 15 and 16, there's number 16. And yeah, 13 and 16, right? I just found this one is a little troubling. It's just simply we select one vendor and we made a contract. So yeah, I just made a comment that we are to go through the bidding process. I know that there's a pros and cons, but also looks and appearance is very important. And in terms of selecting the vendors, they are either co-ops and the vendor is screened by the states. So that the risk of bidding is that any kind of vendors, I mean the vendors submitting the bids, maybe there might be like the lowest bidders, so we may have to select them, but we gotta assume that they are also screened by the state. So that I just found it why we do this kind of practice, because I know sometimes time is essence, and sometimes very important to get those all the project done on time. But my belief is that the either superintendent or BAs, the job duty is one of the things that to make sure that we have to be not in full compliance, but we have to make it very fair and just fair and look good appearance. So I think if there's a is coming in, then I strongly recommend that going forward, whoever in the finance committee, I think I strongly object this kind of procedure.
So just to verify, So we do have vendors at this time that are on,
There is one vendor we selected and we.
okay, so there is a vendor, cause I wasn't sure if we were now asking to open the bid or we do, cause there's a vendor listed
I
here.
think we simply invite like all other, the vendors to submit the proposal.
You are only talking about the number 13?
Number
or-
13 and 16, yeah, number 16.
15? What about the waterproofing technology?
number 15.
15,
Number
right?
15 also does,
That's waterproofing technology,
correct,
right?
that's one of the vendors,
So
correct.
that one and the number 13, the
Northeast.
Northeastern Interior Services,
Yeah.
they both awarded without bidding process.
No one has been awarded as of yet, that's why
No, sorry.
we put this on the resolutions for the board to vote.
Right.
And they're in a co-op,
But it's only one vendor.
it is one vendor. So the
Yes.
co-op went through the bidding process already.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Right.
We fully understand the bidding process and everything, we understand, but, one of the co-ops or whatever, select by street, those are already qualified for any vendors, we need to select pool of vendors and ask them, if there's only one vendor, two vendors, I just wanna revise it and, simply asking them to submit, get the pool of, quotation, among which we have to find it. I think that's the kind of, the proper, procedure, so. It depends on the members, but I'm, as a, member of finance committee, I make a strong, objection to this kind of practice.
So you object to the practice moving forward and that's your recommendation?
Yeah, because, I already discussed with the Alex and, it's time also is essence, and it's very
Right.
important to make it so that, today also my last week, participant, so that I make a strong, objection, but I'm, more than willing to support this one, but from now on,
Okay.
it should be.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Yim, okay, even last year, when there was the auditorium, the roof replacement, the repairment, automatically, we assigned that work to WTI, and even this time for the gymnasium, the roofing goes to same company with no bidding procedure. I think it's not fair or it's not regular course, so I think we have to open bid and invite some other the companies to see if their quotation is the lowest and comes to tail. We have to see that.
That's fair enough, and in the interest of full disclosure, today's my last day meeting too. I would my understanding is if we go through a co-op, these vendors are already state approved and vetted, and we sort of have to balance out the cost effectiveness of opening a bid and the additional expenses of opening it up. So I understand what you're saying, but I think, in terms of the numbers and cents, we should just balance out what the additional costs and delays would factor in.
Yeah, well, I think, even, I don't know how much it costs, but we have to accumulate some kind of experience, right? So that,
Somewhat, Mr. Lim? You have to accumulate what?
What?
Well, you have to accumulate, oh, experience.
Accumulate kind of experience, because, we simply giving out just one vendor practice. I don't fully understand what you're trying to say here, right? But, as, we are working as a public, servant, right? And, we have to make sure that all the bidding process, right? I just don't know how much, you mentioned, how much extra cost involved.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't have any kind of idea.
Yeah, so I think everyone, if I may, I don't wanna interrupt and I apologize, you do have a question, go ahead, Rebecca.
Yeah, I believe in the earlier, somebody mentioned that with the co-op, they do make bids within themselves.
That is correct.
Can we see what the other bids are?
Right, maybe
We
that's
have
a
that.
compromise,
We
right?
have that
Right,
information.
that's how we chose.
So I think, just for clarity, transparency,
Okay.
and I think, I hope you all understand, there's a few things being said here that I want to clarify. No one is automatically getting any project, any job, no one has been approved. These are recommendations. These are recommendations for one, the sake of time, two, experience in working with vendors. They know our buildings, they know what type of work and repair is needed. Additionally, the money that is being allocated towards these projects, the Lindbergh Library, number 13, for example, that is money that is all being reimbursed from insurance. So I think full compliance, we are being fully compliant. There is nothing here being done unethical. I can go on record and tell you, I have the correspondence from all their bidding processes of any company that's working. I would not make a recommendation to the board unless I did my homework. So I have looked at who's working, WTI, and I respect the opinion of the board that maybe we should go out to bid. But Mr. Lim, I know, I don't wanna mention by name the architect because we do record these meetings. But if the architect was gonna be involved in the bidding process for the roof alone, we're talking about $80,000. I don't wanna take money away from the attorney, but the attorney would also be required to partake in that. Now, I think my experience again is when the state has approved vendors, you don't respectfully need to have Mr. McCann to chime in on whether this is a fair legal contract. This is something that the state has already agreed that is compliant.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. There are a number of state-approved like vendors, right? Then we could, send them, as much as possible, right? Communicate to them, ask them to submit the bidding, right?
We have done that.
Yeah.
And this is these are two companies that the state has recognized as acceptable companies to utilize.
So in this case, I think we got wrongly informed when I had a finance meeting with Alex, right? This is recommended by you so that
Only recommended by me because the state recommends them.
Yeah,
The state puts them on an approved
that's right.
list.
Yeah, so state recommended, they got through the state like a
Absolutely
process, right? So, see, we just wanna see, if that's the case, then I just wanted to, could you send me, maybe we can just, table this one.
Alex?
I just wanna see within like a short period of time, see what is the bidding, like you said, like two bidders, right?
No, not two bidders.
What, how many bidders?
Well, we didn't.
Well, how many quotes we
Alex,
have?
as far as Tremco,
What?
Tremco is
Yeah.
WTI.
You
Whether-
got the quotation from them?
Well, from who, Kevin? We're talking about two different projects. The roof or the library, which
I
one?
mean, so still talking about it, number 13, 13, 15, let's discuss
But
one
let's
by
discuss one by one.
Yeah.
So the roof
Yeah.
is number 15. The library is number 13.
Yeah.
Which one do you wanna discuss
Yeah,
first?
number 13 first. Yeah.
Number 13.
Yeah, number 13, I know it got from the insurance company.
Number
right? So you
13
use-
is called Northeastern Interior Services LLC. They are an approved vendor in the state of New Jersey as general contractors. They have overseen projects, I have a list, and I can share this with the board, of companies and school districts throughout the state of New Jersey. They have a Department of Treasury Property Management Construction license from the state of New Jersey.
Yeah.
We can go out to bid, if that's the direction of the board. I can also tell you, the cost of this project will 100% escalate.
I know, it was like paid by insurance company, right? But, I just wanna emphasize that we are in a public sector, right? So that I don't like the simple one bidder, as you mentioned there, right?
Mr. Shin to look at.
As you mentioned, there are, many, states approve the construct, right, the old license, right?
Well, there's not many.
Yeah, well, how many we have then?
Alex, how many companies were we seeking
At least more
to
than
get?
3, right?
But the problem is, they don't necessarily have the time, or they wanna work on the projects,
Yeah, I know,
Kevin.
fully understand, Dr. Ciro. I have tons of experience, like, I know they may not be able to, but, our duty is that we need to contact them, communicate them, at least like size of this project, you said that this one is paid by insurance company, right? So we don't have to worry about.
No, I didn't say we don't have to worry.
Yeah, but this different angle. We have to make public meetings. Like a meeting, public meeting means like there's approved vendors, right? Minimum, I think more than 3, because looks and appearance, right? It's very important to get minimum 3 bidders, right? Quotation, we need to compare
But
that.
there's no guarantee you'll even get one bidder.
I know, but so.
I feel like we're going in
Why
circles.
you making this kind of communication so difficult? I think, I know maybe, there's no bidders, like one bidders, two bidders, right?
Alex,
Our job
how
is
many
to-
months were we trying to get someone to give us a
Well, I
quote?
just wanna see your efforts, our efforts, efforts
Alex,
put into,
please do me a favor.
getting-
Compile a list of all of the contacts that you have made in the last 2.5 months to try to get a quote just for the Lindbergh School Library. Please, and share that via email with Mr. Lim.
Just a simple question regarding that.
Sure.
So what's your initial approach to get this vendor in? Like, do you post or
No.
do you separately just
So the
contact
state
them?
has already a list of approved
Right,
No,
so you
vendors.
contact every
So
single
Alex, do
company?
you wanna speak about what you did to get this quote and how
Yeah,
much?
just want, I just, as a member of, finance committee, right? I just want to table this one, take a look at the, what you did, right? What kind of communication we have, what kind of bid we have, and, look at, maybe, 1 or 2 days I can briefly, based on how fast we can submit all the information, right?
My only
I-
concern with tabling it at this point, Mr. Lim,
Yeah.
we already have a concern with space at the school. We
Well,
have a company that may
That's,
be,
so that,
we're not gonna have another meeting until we don't have anything scheduled in January just yet.
well,
So,
initially, I just want, told you that it may be, assuming that, maybe today last time, but assuming that from now on, you should go through like all the, competing bid, minimum like 2 or 3, right? And, take a look at it and make a final, it depends on like size, like, size of this one, it's over $300,000, right? I think it's very, very important to get some kind of, minimum like 2 or 3, bidding, right? Then now you're saying that because of the time, that's not the excuse. To
Okay.
me, it's not excuse. You
I
gotta
don't,
do it.
Mr.
You
Lim,
gotta
I
do
don't
your
wanna
stuff to the
argue,
job.
it's your last meeting, I don't wanna argue with you, you're making a point, it's a good point, I'm acknowledging it's a good
Yeah,
point.
if you promise that from now on, maybe starting from next year, right? If you do it the way, I think I'm more than willing to support this one.
Alex,
But looks like, sound like,
I can tell you, I'm giving you my word for whatever it's worth. If the board wants us to go out to bid in the future, we can do that.
yeah, because I.
That's not a
strongly,
problem,
strongly
Mike.
as a- I don't know how many
As a
people.
matter of fact, I raised this kind of problem last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, I asked for like multiple bid for some construction or some the works need a lot of money.
Yes.
Okay, but, for example, like HVAC, we passed some bidding process, right? The HVAC
That is correct.
construction.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
but, this number 15, the gymnasium roof, we didn't pass any.
Do you know how much
open
money we
bid
paid
process,
the
so
architects
it's-
for the HVAC?
What?
Do you know how much money we paid the architects?
Yeah, 6
No,
million
$500,000.
Yeah, total $6 million.
No, the architects, how much we paid the architects?
Architecture was about $300,000.
No,
Higher.
Something like that, yeah.
A lot higher.
Yeah.
And part of that cost is all of this, that I believe we're spending money on something that has already been vetted as best practice. Again, if the board wants to go out to bid, guys, I'll do what the board wants, I just make recommendations. If that's what the board wants, I'm not here to argue against
I
the board.
cannot say in unison in representing the board, right? But I am very familiar with the bidding process and for the work of public, the organization entity like us, right? I'm strongly recommend that, bidding should get, minimum 2 or 3 competing bidding. Yeah, I know there might be some additional cost and effort, right? But I strongly recommend that we should go through that way.
Thank you.
Just 13,
At
so,
least, okay, if, to save the money, okay, if we don't pass like the bidding process, at least we have to, the Board of Education have to decide whether we should go through the bidding process or by just follow the Dr. Sidler's recommendation. At least let us decide for that.
I have no
To
problem
save the
going
money.
forward, I will seek the advice of the president, the vice president, and the committee. And if that's the direction you wanna go in, that's not a problem. I'm not trying to save money, this is more about time also. This is, we had a storm, we know the roof is compromised. We know that there's a company that is already vetted out, approved. Again, we're all, I agree, it's a very good point.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, I have the last year's, the auditorium, looking at the quotation from that same company.
Yes.
Even that time, they pointed out the gymnasium roof should be replaced, and they wanted to start last year, January 1st.
Correct.
That's what they decided. So it's not the time sensitive, the matter is on, okay?
Well,
So we knew about the problem with gymnastic roof
Mr.
already,
Shin,
so.
respectfully,
So at least we had the time.
respectfully, the reason why we didn't do it in July, we submitted a grant. We received a grant. The state is giving us 40% of the cost of the project. That's why we didn't do the project in July. I wasn't gonna spend money in July that we would not have been reimbursed. Gotta be patient. Now we have 40% of the total cost as a grant to us. You know, it's, do we wanna do it in July and not receive any funds, or wait, be patient?
Just
I
for
mentioned in
information.
July, this repairment was not like the urgent matter to be handled, that's my point.
I understand.
Just for the information for the board as well, I reached out to another business administrator back in February. And he went out to bid for a roof project that had $16,000 square foot, and he said it came in around $800,000. This roof project is 17,800 square feet. If you do the math, it's 12% larger, meaning that it's gonna be around 896,000 would be the estimate of the bid. This came into 889,000.
But if
So it's
you're
gonna
not-
be around there, plus you're paying $90,000 in architect fees.
But can it be like a variance, depends on the condition of the roof, like, although it's calculated by the square feet, so.
It's calculated square foot and replacing the roof.
Yeah, I think.
This cost right here is the architecture fee is included?
No.
Well, it wasn't necessary
There's,
because,
we don't need.
We don't need it because
We
they
wouldn't need it.
did
but
it.
if we did the open bid, it would be in addition to the architectural
will be
fees, there would be
additional.
attorney's fees,
Yes.
so it's about being cost effective.
Okay, so still is number 13, so the $370,000 that was insurance company would pay, that includes it's just about the construction fee, or it's includes the books or damages?
No,
compensation?
so-
Just
Alex,
construction.
you wanna speak to that?
That is strictly the reconstruction,
Just construction.
yeah, basically, the whole thing is
So it's light fixtures,
Light
that is
fixtures.
anything about.
electric,
Walls, electrical.
walls, yeah.
Okay.
Well, also, speaking of number 13,
HVAC
right?
as well, thank you.
Number what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, speaking of number 13,
13.
so what I inform is that we still haven't fixed yet the total, the amounts, right? Refund amount, right?
That is
So
correct.
what's the reason?
So if we don't have a quote or a project cost approved, we cannot submit it for reimbursement. They will not give you a check before you do the work. You do the work, they issue you a check. So it's like on a car, if there was a car accident, they're not giving you the check for $10,000 unless you did the work for $10,000.
Right, and they do an inspection to make sure that the work was performed.
So that what are those remaining works that we need to work it out with the insurance company?
For the library,
Yeah.
Alex, you have a list of all the projects that we've been reimbursed so far, as well as what is outstanding. Last month, Kevin, I believe, we purchased all furniture that has to be replenished. That already has been approved by the board. We
Initial
obviously,
remediation.
we got reimbursed for all of the remediation. This project was originally guesstimate above $1 million, and we are well in that range.
Supplies that have been damaged, all of that has been already reimbursed, but this, that's not. Abatement, correct.
Yeah, maybe, we are working in a community and, students, right? I think our expedite, because, the delay, more delay we make, like, the image happening too, is like, our students, right? So that, I don't know, we have, consciously follow, what are the issues and what are, remaining, things that I think we gotta expedite,
question regarding number 5, bill list. This month we have a big volume of bill list, and I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Starting with page 5. So the Palisades Board of Ed, we are renting, is it like our van renting or?
I'm
how-
sorry, what,
It's
page 5?
5, yes,
Number
athletic
five.
report, 6,000. Is that we are receiving from somewhere else, or how does that work? What is that?
I'm not sure I understand the question, Ms. Chung.
Yes,
Number five on
Palisades
the bottom.
Board of
No, it
Education.
refers to the bill list.
Inside,
6,000.
transportation,
Yeah, that
6,000
is
and
we are
miscellaneous for
spending or
5,000.
somebody's paying to us.
This is the athletic, that's what we spend. We encumber the money, so in the event there's a field trip or a sporting event,
Right.
we allocate the money in that account. In the event we don't use it, it
Okay.
sits in the account.
We just transfer from one account to another.
Oh, okay.
So if there's a field trip for a school event, that's
Right,
where they
right.
pay for it.
I understood that, but like the vendor names, or the vendor names we are paying to, and this is.
Yeah, it goes to the athletic account, and they order, usually from First Student is the contracted bus from Englewood.
Okay. And the below that is ESS support services.
Yes.
And Mr. Alex said this is about the aid teachers.
That is correct, the
hire-
teacher aides.
Payrolls and.
Yes.
So this amount of money, $134,602, are separate from our payroll.
No, we don't pay them anymore. They're paid specifically from the agency.
Right, so it's a separate.
That is separate.
Before, we contract them, I think we had a contract with this agency last month.
Only for a few, employees, not this many.
Right, so before that it was aid teachers, payroll to the aid teachers were included in our full
That is
payroll.
correct.
Now it's separate
That is
because of this
correct.
agency.
Yes,
So it means more, right?
yes.
Okay. And, just a second. So UFS personnel, what is security?
Security guards in the 3 buildings.
Okay, thank you. And, the special needs education, that, there are many list of the schools.
Yes.
But some school expose the information about how many kids are going, how many students, and their initial names there, but some school has nothing on it. Like, for example, forum school, is it for one person or two students?
What page specifically, I'm sorry?
Forum school is page 9 at the bottom, because I see for E and Engineering Center has specific information, the similar, same column, but forum school, I believe it's 2 students.
I don't wanna give you false information right now. I would double check.
Right.
Usually
But
we
like
put the
there is
initials
some-
of the children.
What?
Usually we put the initials of the children,
Right,
for
Or student ID.
confidentiality, or their student ID number. So I don't wanna speak to this. I can
no, I'm not asking their names, but I just want it to be consistent. If you don't wanna write it down, do not write down all of that, or write down, then just do it together. I
Okay.
just have some issue with how to interpret.
Alex, do you understand the point? It's a good point.
How to
Alex, so if,
interpret this
so on
system.
Forum School, for example, it
Right.
says tuition December, maybe we could put in parentheses 2 for 2 students,
Right,
for
'cause-
consistency for all the students.
Correct.
Right, cause I believe this school, I think the tuition for 2 students, but it's really just 1.
I think based on the number I'm looking at, I think you're
Okay.
correct, it is 2 students.
Okay.
Because
thank
if you went with that 1 student
Yeah.
times 11 months, we don't pay 144,000, we pay about 70-something thousand to Forum School. So I think your point is right, this is a 1-month tuition for 2 students,
Okay.
you're correct.
Okay. Anyone has more question?
Yeah, one more question. The bill list, like the page number 7, I'm sorry, number 27. There is one replace check to see Cooney in the amount of 1,000. Can I ask what is it?
CUNY, C-U-N-I?
Yes.
CU University of New York?
University of New York. page 27,
How much is that?
1,000.
27, no, 1,000
So you don't see?
Let's see it.
Page 27.
28.
28, okay.
28 is the first item on the.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
28.
28.
So what is this? Is replacement check?
Alex, you know what this replacement check is for?
It's most likely a check that they did not receive, so we're just sending them a replacement check for some type of invoice that they have.
Okay, so did we stop the payment for
Yes.
the previous check?
Yeah, that's not the payment, correct.
So, Alex, do you know when we reach the initial check then? Could you
I'm not
check
sure.
it out? Later on?
Yeah, I have to check. I can research that and I'll
Yeah.
get back to you.
Yeah, in the past, like, there's a old check that was replaced in the past. This check, you remember issued, this year or? Initial check.
I am not sure. I have to check on this.
Hopefully, Alex, could you send a copy of, any evidence check, to me, in an email? Initial, like, original check. The date, if you don't have copy, then date
Sure.
of the check issue.
No.
Okay, any other questions? Let's go on to, meetings ground. Anthony Kim, please, one item.
I have one, an active shooting material, this is, I believe, is the manager, for all the golf courses.
Any other questions? Okay, let's go on to, personnel. Any extra Garcia?
Yes, there are 6 items on consent agenda for personnel.
And Jessica, and for the board's edification, I just wanna clarify, in number 1, the second employee listed with an asterisk next to her name, this is a retirement. This is not a resignation. She is retiring on June 30th of 2024.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Number 6, salary increase of the residency officer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's okay to increase whatever his payment is, but can you tell me what was his activities in the 2023? I believe he, at the beginning, he worked very actively, so we found some, and he brought some results.
Yes.
But what happened in the later part of 2023?
So it's a great question. We have continued with the re-registration as we've set out to. We've continued with 2 grade levels. I don't know if it's a reflection of the re-registration or people moving out of town. But 53 students, we have less from last year, 53. Also keep in mind, as we all know, we have more students go to out-of-district schools, whether it be the Englewood School or the Teterboro or Hackensack campus. But I could speak to the work with Mr. Thompson, the extensive reports, the follow-up. It's an absolute pleasure to work with him. We continue to see that even today, I got another report on a student that we suspected did not live here. He went twice, and he proved that that student does live here. So I can tell you that we are continuing to follow up. I believe we have 3 grade levels to complete. But we are, again, I think we have seen, and it's something that we have to keep on top of. Because if, once you let your guard down, you don't want people that don't live here to potentially be enrolled.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we are doing some kind of the ways, okay, to improve this kind of problems. So first step was re-registration, and second was the the hiring active residence officer. And I have one more suggestion we'd like to do, okay? But today is, we need some new members for the verification next January.
I look
So
forward to
I
talking
I
about that.
drafted some kind of plan, so I'd like to suggest that plan, in next January.
Thank you, Mr. Shin.
Thank you.
Question number 5, so this dramatic art stipend, is these staffs, their main position like teachers or?
Yes, it's a great question, something I talked about with the personnel committee yesterday. So there is one stipend in our contract, in that amount of $4,697. In June, one employee was retained for that position. All 3 of those women are teachers at the junior, senior high school. They actually, the one person who was hired actually came to me and said that she would like to share and divide that cost equally amongst the 3 of them because they all work so well together. So I commend her for doing that, for sharing with her colleagues. And, you know, again, I think it's a better product when you work in collaboration with your staff.
So this whole amount of money was by like hourly or how?
No, so that's a stipend, so upon completion of the activities in the year, that's the
Okay.
amount that that individual would get.
Okay.
But she now will be sharing that amongst 3, so
Right,
it's
okay.
equally divided.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And number 6?
Yes.
I'm not sure what the residence officer means, it's.
Yep, so
security?
any new student, who comes to our district,
Yeah.
every new student who enters for the first time, and any student who we suspect may not live here, we have an officer go to the home within the first 30 days to ensure that they are residents of Palisades Park.
Did we have him last year?
We did. Mr. Thompson was with us. He was being paid $50 an hour.
Okay.
He's currently also working with the Fort Lee schools,
Okay.
so he's a shared
I remember
employee,
last year.
very, very good employee of ours.
We shared the officer with Leonia the year before, but,
Carmi
I believe
relocated
he
to
was not
Florida.
that active, but, I see a lot of the research, good research from Mr. Thompson, and it is very encouraging things.
Thank you.
Well, I have a question that, is it like almost, 50% increase from, they're entitled to get 50% increase, right?
Yeah, Kevin, I can tell you, based on the reports and the amount of work, there is not any set dollar amount that probably, you know, any one of these employees should be receiving. I can go on record and tell you, $75 an hour is on the low end in the county for what residency officers receive. Sometimes they're paid by municipal governments. We are hiring our own. He is retired. He is available to us when needed. He's going at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 10 p.m. So again, I know it's, we can't necessarily go to the home at 3 p.m. and assume, oh, well, he's here already. He's gotta go at off times to ensure that they live here.
If he works like 40 hours a week, it's a lot of money, but.
I promise you, he's doing 2 or 3 hours a week.
That's it.
10 hours or.
Not even,
30 hours
2 or 3 hours a week.
Yeah, so this is not big amount, I guess.
Does he go by himself? Or?
Yes, he does. He has a school ID. He identifies himself as an employee of the Palisades Park Board of Education. He actually enters the home, with permission from the families, and he ensures that children do reside there and have, you know, their essentials.
And you said it's as needed, right?
As
What's the
needed.
30 days?
As needed.
Those
If
were
I
more
suspect
days.
there's a concern, I will email him, I will call him, he will tell me when he can go, and he will follow up, with his report.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions on the personnel report? No? Let's go on to curriculum, Rebecca Lee.
There's one consent agenda with 4 field trips. I would like to move to consent.
Okay, any other questions? If not, let's go on to negotiation. Mr. Kevin Lim,
We don't have any items to discuss,
no report?
no report.
Okay, so any other questions?
Just for the public's and really the board's edification, earlier tonight, there was a initial conversation, with the negotiations team for the PPEA. We started that conversation. I commend the members of the board that were here. And, again, I'm looking forward to productive discussions in the new year.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay, do you have any questions? If not, let's go on to, policy, any Garcia?
I just have one item, it's an update on, what the policies are on sports-related concussion and head injuries. It was set down by NJSBA, and it's my understanding, not related to the policy, but all of the coaches and, staff affiliated with athletic and performance are certified by the National Federation of High School Association.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions about it? Okay, if not, let's go on to New Jersey. Do you have any questions? Okay. So New Jersey School Board liaison, alternate, Sujang, please.
Oh, I don't have reports.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or no? Okay, next one, County School Board rep alternate, Helen John is not here, right? There is no report. And next one, School Safety and Security Committee, NES.
There's no report at this time.
Thank you. Okay, all right, now we are going to close the work session and open the regular meeting. Is there a motion
Yes.
to close work session and open regular meeting?
I make a motion to close the work session and open the, regular meeting. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So the new businesses we're discussing just regular meeting now.
We are going to,
I have a request that we suspend the order of the regular minutes for the new order and go into closed session right now to receive a brief.
Can I just, honor one student who's already actually late for a function before we, so I think
Oh,
we'd have to, if
Okay.
you want, completely up to the board too, by the
yeah,
way.
why not, yes.
So do you want to, are we in the regular session at this
We are
time?
at this
Yes.
time.
So, Ms. Min, do you have a report?
Yeah, I
Then
have
I'll
a-
do mine, and then
sure.
John, if you wanna do that in your report, if you don't mind?
You
Sure,
can-
okay.
I'm going to report, two things. On December 3rd, I attended a holiday trip lighting in front of the town hall and, got to enjoy the beautiful singing by the Limburg students, which was phenomenal. In particular, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to, thank the teachers who volunteered. And also, I would like to thank Mr. Fallon for attending that day, okay? Also, yesterday, I was, music concert at Limburg Elementary School, and it was amazing too. I really enjoyed the beautiful songs that the kids sang, okay? And thank you very much to all the faculty members who worked hard on making the concert success, okay? Thank you. Now, report to the superintendent.
Thank you, Ms. Min, and I will be rather quick, because I know we do have a guest here who has a commitment. But I was honored on November 30th to represent the board and join his mom, who was very proud. In my 21 years of working in Palisades Park and 11 as superintendent, I can tell you this was a first for me, and one that I was extremely impressed by, something that I commend and publicly want to acknowledge Mr. Dino Eliopoulos, our athletic director, Ms. Grace Coe, the senior class advisor, but most of all, Travis Park. Travis is a senior at Palisades Park Junior Senior High School. Travis is a high achiever, to say the least, and someone who was recognized as one of 2 recipients in the state of New Jersey, specifically Bergen County. The other individual was a young woman from Richfield High School, but this was a night of champions, a sports night of champions, and Travis had a tremendous video. Rebecca, congratulations to you, your family, but I wanted to honor and congratulate Travis here tonight, give him a quick award, take a quick picture, and send him off to his dinner. So on behalf of the Board of Education, Travis, we are extremely proud of you. You continue to bring us great pride, and best of luck on the next chapter.
Thank you.
Travis was the recipient of a $10,000 check.
Wow.
He tried to bring this to the bank, and they gave it back to him. Miss Min, come on in. Rebecca, come on. Show the board. $10,000. Come on over.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Enjoy your dinners. Be safe. Since we are in the holiday mood and we are wishing people well, Mr. Kevin Lim and Ms. Agnieszka Garcia are here with us for their last regular meeting. Helen Junn also is in her last meeting, but unfortunately could not attend. I publicly, on behalf of the Board of Education, would like to thank both of you for the time, for volunteering, but most of all for what you've done for the children of Palisades Park and your work with us. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Rolex. $10,000 and Rolex. Last but not least, in my report, happy holidays to all. Congratulations to our outgoing members. Congratulations to the incoming. I wish you and your families a very happy and safe New Year. Thank you.
Okay, where's
Mr. McCann.
McKen's turn?
you're in.
Okay, can I go on?
I think he
Can I
wants
wait?
to.
There you go.
Okay, it's your turn.
Yes.
Any report?
Yeah, well, I have my report,
Yeah.
but we have to, in order for, we have two issues that we have to do in closed session. So we need a motion to go into closed session, suspend well, actually, we can do this underneath my rubric of my report. So, we need a motion to, go into closed session.
Can we, does it have to, should we do it now, or should we vote on the resolutions, or since we did the work session, I think we'll go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You want- It's up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
That way they don't have to stay.
Okay.
They don't-
right,
okay.
Resolutions.
Fair enough.
okay.
Letter J, any approval
Okay.
of board minutes?
So, going to move to the approval of board, minutes for November 15, 2023 regular meeting minutes, okay? May I have a motion on that?
I make a motion for approval?
Second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call please.
Yunmen,
Yes.
Agnieszka Garcia,
Yes.
Sue Chung,
Yes.
Kevin Lim,
Yes.
Rebecca Lee,
Yes.
Anthony Kim. Yes. Charlie Shin,
Yes.
motion approved.
Okay. So now we are going to move on to the committee appointments. Let's start with the finance, Kevin Lim.
On the finance committee agenda, we have, total 16 consent agenda for approval, and, I just, like I said, I just make a strong, recommendation, for 14 and 15, agenda 15. Yeah, going forward, we need to have, some competing bid, and we gotta select the final bidders, and, that's my recommendation, but, I just wanna, suggest like total 16
Okay.
agenda.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lim. Second
I
on that?
second for approval?
Okay, any discussion, other discussion?
So are we table number 13 or what?
I
just
want-
the
yeah,
recommendation
yeah,
for moving
yeah.
forward.
Each one can decide.
Thank you, Mr. Lim.
And,
Any
and I,
other-
and I think just to further that point, Kevin, and I appreciate that and respect it, as I mentioned to Charlie, going forward, I think it'll be something that the board, prior to a meeting, should suggest whether we go out to bid or not. I think that's a good point. Thank you.
Thank you for that suggestion. Okay. Any other discussion? If not, roll call please.
Yunmen,
Yes.
Agnieszka Garcia,
Yes.
Sue Chung,
Yes. Item number 13, well, I would just approve for not, this is time consuming issue, but I prefer that we go on the
Yes.
Charlie Shen,
Yeah.
motion approved.
Next, Buildings Ground Committee, Anthony Kim.
One item here, active shooting and drill, to be approved by you guys.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
Okay.
Diane Yasmin?
Is there, yeah, Agnieszka, second that. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call please.
Yunman,
Yes.
Agnieszka Garcia,
Yes.
Sue Chung,
Yes.
Kevin Lim,
Yes.
Rebecca Lee,
Yes.
Anthony Kim,
Yes.
Charlie Shen,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, next personnel, Agnieszka Garcia.
I have 6 items on consent agenda for personnel.
Okay, second. Okay. Is there any further discussion? If not, roll call please.
Yunman,
Yes.
Agnieszka Garcia,
Yes.
Sue Chung,
Yes.
Kevin Lim,
Yes.
Rebecca Lee,
Yes.
Anthony Kim,
Yes.
Charlie Shen,
Yes.
motion approved.
Okay, curriculum, Rebecca Lee.
There's one item I would like to move to consent agenda. I'll second.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call please.
Yunman,
Yes?
Agnieszka Garcia,
Yes.
Sue Chung,
Yes.
Kevin Lim,
Yes.
Rebecca Lee,
Yes.
Anthony Kim,
Yes.
Charlie Shen,
Yes.
motion approved.
Okay. Next one would be negotiation. Kevin Lim?
There's a small report.
Okay, thank you. Next one is policy, Agnieszka Garcia.
There's one item for approval on sports-related concussion and head injuries.
Second,
Second.
any other discussion? Roll call please.
Yunman,
Yes.
Agnieszka Garcia,
Yes.
Sue Chung,
Yes.
Kevin Lim,
Yes.
Rebecca Lee,
Yes.
Anthony Kim,
Yes.
Charlie Shen,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Okay. Next, New Jersey, Board Liaison, alternate, Sue Zhang, please.
I don't have reports today.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Zhang. Next one would be County School Board Rep alternate. Ms. Helen Zhang is not here, but no report. So we'll go on to, School Safety and Security Committee.
There's no report.
Who is Agnieszka Garcia?
Sorry, there's no report.
Thank you. All right, next will be into old business. Do we have old business? Okay, go on to, new business.
I have one item, as required by the NJSIAA, that is the governing body of all sports in the state of New Jersey. Every 2 years, any co-op agreement has to be approved by the Board of Education. We obviously are co-op with Leonia in football, girls soccer, wrestling, and boys and girls swimming. So I am asking for a motion, a second, and a approval on this.
I make a motion for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call please.
Yunman,
Yes.
Agnieszka Garcia,
Yes.
Sue Chung,
Yeah, just, so what will be the ground we are using? Their ground, is it so about?
So football, we are the host school, so we, our games are at the county field.
Okay.
Soccer is at their facility, they are the host. Wrestling and swimming, they are the host schools, so they take the lead,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, I approve.
Kevin Lim,
Yes.
Rebecca Lee,
Yes.
and, Anthony Kim,
Yes.
and Charlie Shen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it for committee meeting. May I have a motion to open, audience participation?
One on new business.
We did that.
I have some suggestion too. In January, we'll have like a organization meeting. Okay, in that meeting, we will have like 3 new members. So, is there any way we can arrange some kind of orientation for the new members? Like we can invite all the principals of the 3 schools and make the time, give the time to say hello to each other, to know each other. Also, if possible, we'd like to invite some like town people, like the mayors and like the council persons. Also give some kind of instruction for the like school, the Palisades Park, the school estates, like the number of students or like the number of faculties, something like that, introducing the Palisades Park school system to the new Board of Education member. That will be very helpful to the new members to know better about Palisades
Also,
Park
will
School.
we
That's my
be
suggestion.
needing the training with the NJSBA?
Yeah.
They have to
And they-
coordinate that.
They have orientation, but it's coming
Yeah,
up
they have
soon
orientation,
too.
but they must.
I think though, Charlie, you're making some good points. I like these suggestions and something that, we very much will consider and, invite these individuals. Thank
You're
you.
talking about in a reorganization meeting.
Right.
Well, if it wouldn't be at the reorganization, it could be at the January
Whatever,
meeting.
we'll have the
January,
time,
anytime.
such things, yes.
It's a good
Such
suggestion.
things, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But then we will have only two new board members for the spots, and then this, Dr. Siri, you haven't heard anything?
So today I did get a call from a gentleman by the name of Richard Miller from the County Board of Elections.
Right.
I was advised today that he told me next Wednesday would be the recount. So that's what he told me. I don't know anything more.
Okay,
So what would happen if there was a tie at the recount?
There would be a revote, a new vote.
We're going to run off then.
Right.
It's not a runoff. It's a, they have to,
Revote.
it's a re-election. They have to run the election all over again. So it's
And
not a
the board is
runoff.
paying.
Runoff is a different.
No, really, I checked already.
Really?
The board
We
would
don't
pay.
have runoffs.
If we don't pay, what will be happening?
The board has
You go to jail.
Runoffs are way-
Okay,
Just-
we
I
have to
have
pay.
one more new business. Okay. Actually, the opportunity is very slim, the possibility is very slim, but, when I was in Korea, I contacted the chairman, office of the LG Group, and according to the discussion with Dr. Cirillo, as I see, the playground in the high school is the most miserable in the county or in New Jersey, so,
The field?
yes, I
I
mean.
disagree. I can tell you, we put a lot of money and time into that. It's better, a lot better.
Yeah, so I suggested
Keep the
such
trucks
kind
safe.
of, I had the time to discuss about that, and, I suggested they pay the money for
LG
the
wants to put astroturf?
reconstruction of the high school the field, then, we put the name like LG Stadium.
In the middle,
whatever.
LG.
Yeah, whatever. So I suggested
good.
that, and, I'm not sure whether they would accept it or not, but, still, I would like to say.
I would like to have a
suggested
meeting
such
with them.
things.
If you can make that happen, please connect us.
Let's pray for them.
If they donate a lot of money, why not?
All right, listen, if they wanna put LG in the corner, we're okay with that.
I really hope we could have the field, the play field in high school. This is the worst.
I promise you, it's better.
And it's not the worst. It's not the
No,
worst.
it's not, believe me. I've gone to see my son play on fields.
Any
Thank you.
other questions? If not, is there a motion to open audience participation?
I make a motion to close the
Second.
session and open audience participation.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, please be reminded 30 minutes and tell your name and address. Yes, ma'am.
Mary Papote for 4 Glen Avenue. I really like the idea that Mr. Chin proposed about bringing the new member and inform about the school, that way they know what is going on, what is the new, how, to go into and start, like we acknowledge what is going on. So that's a good idea, I hope it's going through. And also, if we let them put the name, just fix the field and we'll let them put the big name, doesn't matter. And Agnieszka, I know this is your last meeting, and Kevin Lee, thank you very much for your service. It was a pleasure. not always agree with some decision, but it was very pleasure to have you guys there, and you bring a lot to our town and our community. Mr. Kevin, every day you impress me more and more. It's sad that you're leaving. Best of luck, and I hope I'll see you around. Thank you, Agnieszka, thank you. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday to everybody.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Is there a motion to close audience participation?
I make a motion to close the audience participation, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We will have formal action when we return, because we do have to vote on the HIB in public.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. McCann,
Yes.
you ready to go?